Hey traders, Parker here with another video. Today I'm talking about supply and demand, and you see the stock on AMC. You can see I have these things drawn out. The support and resistance levels are the significant support and resistance levels with the whole and half dollars over here in this area right here. And I'm looking at those areas because you haven't seen any of these. The price hasn't been this low or been down here since what is this? 427.21. So 2021 levels. And what you're seeing here are just my Fibonacci levels. I had them going to the high, but I probably have them going to the left. But the other thing I want to point out to you is this new supply demand indicator that I'm working on. And let me get rid of the drawings and let's check it out. You look right here, excuse me, it's actually hitting this supply demand area right here. So it tried to hold that area and it couldn't. It broke down below. Even when it collapsed, it still stopped at this area and tried to get back into this demand zone. But and cooling, or as I say, old support areas become new supply areas, or old support areas become new demand. No, old support areas become new resistant areas, and old resistant areas become new support areas once they're breached. And this one was breached. This demand area or support area was breached. It was created by this candle and that candle, and it got breached. The stock tried to push back into it, and it got pushed all the way down, and it held this support area or demand area. But you can see right here, this is all high volume that's pushing it down, and this right here is just showing you its average volume. But the other catch is this: if you look at my volume indicator, you see these gray dots represents lower volume average is decreasing, and also range average is decreasing as well. So it's actually setting up to be a squeeze. One of the other things I noticed on this indicator, my I supply demand oscillator, you see this divergence. You see his price is going down, this is going up. In my, I don't know, with the knowledge I have in researching the market and everything, when you get this type of divergence, somebody's buying up or accumulating right here. And it just seems strange to me, but I'm waiting for it to play out. And I really can't find anywhere else on here where that happened, where price was just decreasing like that and the indicator was going up. It's just strange to me. Well, maybe, nope, that's not it either. It's just strange to me, but the indicator, that's one of the reasons why I'm not releasing the indicator right now, this updated version of the indicator, because I haven't fully worked out everything. I haven't fully tested everything to really be able to explain everything to you. But let's go back to these levels right here. So it's working on this one right here. So it could possibly drop down to this next demand area of 8. What is it? 868 and 824. And then the one that's preceding now is 803 and 748. But this is on a daily chart. So let's push it over to the weekly chart and see what we get. And this is what we get on the weekly chart. You can see how I found this demand area right here from this candle back here. And it stopped right there, but it's not showing any more demand into this area right here. So possibly on this weekly basis, it could possibly go back down to 557. And you can see how it found all these supply levels right here, and it actually worked on here, but it got taken out by this high level of vol on the weekly, and this is your ultra high on the weekly, and it tried to hold that area, but it finally just creased down below. Same situation here. You had buyers come in and buy it all the way up to this old demand area, and it got pushed down. They couldn't hold it. Same situation. It created a new area of supply from this candle. And you can see how buyers tried to push back into that area and it didn't hold. And you can see the same situation here. I breached down below these two areas of demand and it just couldn't hold that area. So just looking at that, let's see what it looks like on a monthly. I go up to 10 years. Yeah, it just looks weird. So on a monthly, it's showing you that this candle right here, or this area right here, is a area of demand. This was an area of demand. You can see how price went down to it, bounced up, and then this huge amount of volume pushed it down. This is because this is still early in the month, so this candle right here, we don't know. It's dark red right now, so on this well below ultra high, ultra low volume. But you can just see it how everything just worked out like that. One of the other, I had someone say something about NQ, which is a Nasdaq E-mini Nasdaq 100 futures. This is what it looks like on a monthly over 10 years, and let's look at it on a weekly. And I actually just got rid of all my lines I had drawn out on AMC. So this is what NQ looked like on a weekly with this new supply demand indicator. And this is what we're looking at. So it had these two areas of demand right here, but it breached down below on not ultra high, but high volume, brought it down. Then it just consolidated here, tried to breach down with high volume, but it caught this area of demand right here, and it popped back up into this area. But it's facing these old demand areas as resistance. Yeah, it broke above it, but look what's happening. It's coming right back down. So in one sense, it only got up to this old demand area, and right now it's coming back down. And we can go to the daily. I should have left it on 10 years, but that's fine. This is what we're facing on the daily on the NQ. And you can see yesterday was a low volume day. Oh, no. This is the current. NQ doesn't close. So it was a high volume day. You can see all this volume is just high, breaching it down. So it's almost like a sell-off into this area of demand that it tried to hold. You can see with this long lower wick, if you haven't studied candlesticks, this is what's called a dragonfly doji right here. And you can see how buyers, as soon as this candle dropped down into there, buyers came in and bought it all the way up, but it couldn't hold it. It immediately dropped right back down. And you can see, I guess what I really need to do is put on the irregular bodies indicator to really show you some more significance, because you can see these are all irregular bodies right here. You can see how this triangle is on the top of those bodies, telling you that there's pressure to the high side to push it down, and this is pressure to the low side to push it up. And then you have this volatility candle with this arrow right here of high sell volatility to the downside. Same situation, irregular body with pressure to the downside. And that's basically how I'm reading it right now. This is based off of 12. I believe I left everything at 12. So out of box, all this is set up at 12. But you can change it to 20, which is I'm not gonna do. This video shouldn't have been this long, but it's I just wanted to bring your attention to that, what I saw on AMC, and because I did Nasdaq, let's go to ES and see what ES is showing. This is the Nasdaq futures. And let me get rid of all my drawings so we can see the actual indicator. You can see it's basically the same situation that we saw on the Nasdaq. Same situation that is breaching this area of demand and possibly could drop back down to 3798. So one of the things I always like to do is go back to the pandemic and just see how the indicator really worked out during that time period. Excuse me. You can see all those red areas of volatility to the downside. You had this push which balanced everything out. This push up on this irregular body right here, pressure from the to the upside. And then you had all this just noise, you can say, because this candle right here is low volume but big body. Same situation. Then you go into this quiet period. This is a quiet period because volume is decreasing and the ranges of the candles are decreasing as well. Not high and low, but the bodies are decreasing during that time period. And I look at it somewhat like a squeeze because you usually get these big moves after those. Sometimes they're small, but other times they're big. But anyway, for the most part, you can see how it reacted from there. Create this pivot level and then pushed up from there. But not, I'm going to say it's significant because it's greater than 50% of the highest volume candle. This purple line right here represents 50% of the highest volume candle, which you can see how the highest this average of highest volume candles is decreasing, but these candles to me are significant. Even though they're coming out this light green or this pale green color, they're significant because they're at least greater than 50%. 50% or greater than the highest candle. So I would take these as significant, but I would also look at those gray dots and these blue triangles as well, because it's still considered low volume according to the average. You can see right here, it created this demand area, and it pushed above. I just like to see how things work out in the during that time period, and we can go look at the SPY as well, and it should reflect the same thing. But it's a little bit noisier though. You see all those blue triangles just trying to push price back up, and this right here is pushing price down, pushing price up, pushing price up, pushing it down to the last one, and then it finally bounced above. But these supply and demand areas pretty much seem like they're working out pretty well. But this is on the daily level. You can find this one right here. I think there's another one up there. But for the most part, when it did here, it stopped on those two candles, and it had the gap above it. Came back, gap down below it, came back into it. It couldn't break above it. Brought back down, tried to break above it again, shut back down, and then it finally breached up above it right here and was able to overcome it. So we can go back to the weekly and let's check it out. Back to our pandemic levels, and let me extend this back out because, and I need to go more than 5 years. I need to go to 10 years. So we go to 10 years, excuse me, where this stopped at. You can see these old demand area levels right here. You can see this ultra high volume had to bring it down. And this high volume right here, we zoom in, is a high wave candle. It doesn't know which way to go, but you get this low volume push right here, and it's just pushing right here. And from there, but what I don't like about this is just those gray clouds right there, because it's showing volume is decreasing and ranges are decreasing as well. But I look at it as like a squeeze. So I would play this to the top of this candle. Once this candle broke above it, and you got something positive. So yeah, that's it right there. So I would have gotten in right here and just rolled it up, or I would have waited for it to get it back above this average right here. But since I'm on a weekly, I really need to push it to the weekly average. But for the most part, you can see how it stopped right here from that demand area, but it breached down. You create this high wave or doji candle, whatever you want to call it. But you can see with this triangle right here, it tried to bring price back up. There's pressure from the buyers to try to push price up, but it couldn't. And you got these two arrows right here to push price down. And because I have this on Hikanashi, I'm not actually getting the actual, I'm going to say more so, I'm not getting, it's not as accurate on Hikanashi. But you can see right here, you don't have that second red candle. And you actually got a big green candle, right? Volatility to the buy side actually came in. And that's one of the reasons why I'm probably going to take away the Hikanashi stuff for the irregular bodies and just leave it in as a trend. is a trend instead of allowing it to affect the the irregular bodies code that I have in here. So I think that's probably going to work out best, especially with me giving you explanations why things are happening. And you can see right here, you getting this pressure to the downside, but you got this immediate pressure to the upside. For me, that's balanced. And then you're just waiting for the breach above the highest high of the two candles and the lowest low of the two candles. And I would have probably gotten in once it breached above here, and then you just get continuation. And this is where we are right here. This is where we came from. This area demand on the weekly. And you can see you had this huge push down on this week right here, when you immediately see this push back up. Or not necessarily a push back up, but it's almost, you can see the indecision on this candle, because this week, that week, even though the close was brought down low, it's on high volume. I believe they had good news and it got pushed above. I'm not sure why I have that orange line drawn out. Probably because I seen something on the monthly or the weekly that pushed it out. But for the most part, this is how the supply and demand indicator works. It uses the, let me just bring this video down. This is the video that I'm attempting to code things out. It's Brandon Wendell, CMT finding high quality turning points. And I'll leave a link to this video in the description. So if you want to get his explanation of why things are happening and how you can somewhat predict some of these moves, or attempt to try and predict some of these moves, just check it out. And that's, like I said, this is what I'm basing this indicator on, basically what he's teaching in this class. This is the end of the video. I wish y'all the best, and God bless, and stay safe out there.